Hello everyone. I have two videos I need to bring to you today. So I'll have on the same outfit. I guess it really doesn't matter because I always have on a work uniform anyway in these videos for the most part, unless I'm up in the middle of the night, which is often also. Then I have on pajamas. I guess this definitely won't be a fashion channel because First, not only am I not fashionable, but I always seem to have on work clothes or pajamas. Anyway, this is the video that I was supposed to already have brought to you like a week ago. But this video is about what you should do while you're on bed rest so that you don't go cuckoo. It seems as though it would be really easy to not go to work for 6 to 8 weeks, to not go to your child's soccer practice for 6 to 8 weeks, to not wash dishes for 6 to 8 weeks, to not have to drive your car or go to the gas station for 6 to 8 weeks. I'm stretching it because I did go to the gas station before my 6 to 8 weeks was up, but seems like it would be really easy not to do the things that the doctor tells you not to do. If your doctor is similar to mine, yes, I'm driving as usual. You guys are going to get to see all of St. Louis in my background at some point. But if your doctor is anywhere similar to mine, they're going to tell you for the first 6 weeks, for the first 4 to 6 weeks, don't pick up anything heavier than a gallon of milk. I've never thought about the weight of the gallon of milk until I had this abdominal surgery and was told not to pick up a gallon of milk. If any of you have small children, I don't have small children, but I do have grandchildren. Yes, I'm in the fly grandma's club. My children are old, not me. Anyway, if any of you have small children or you have small grandchildren, you won't be able to pick them up. One, because they're heavier than a gallon of milk, unless they're teeny tiny people still, teeny tiny people. And then maybe not, but two, because if you've ever picked up a 1-year-old or 2-year-old while they're having a temper tantrum and those legs go to kicking and they kick you right in your stitches, not saying that happened to me, but it's just not a good thing to do, which is going to be really difficult if they are indeed your little ones. I did let my grandbaby sit on my lap. I actually call them honey grands, so it's really weird for me to say grandchildren right now, but they don't call me grandma, they call me honey, and so they are my honey grands. So, excuse me, I'm so sorry. So from here on out, I'll refer to them what I usually refer to them. They are my honey grands. So I did allow my honey grands to sit on my lap if I was already in a seated position. There was one time that I did forget. My honey grand was having a little fit, and I went to go pick her up and take her to her mother's house. And I was probably only 2 weeks out from surgery, but I had just had enough, and she was clowning. And as soon as I picked her up, I was like, oh, I remember I'm not supposed to pick her up. And before I remembered and put her down, she kicked me right above my stitches. So I stood straight up and walked back to my room and left her in the hallway flailing. And of course her mother came out and got her, but that's the reason why you don't want to pick up the little ones. They just don't understand, and they don't mean to hurt you, and yeah, it's just not a good situation. But another thing is, it's hard to have someone helping you with your house. So in my case, of course, my husband did take off for the first 2 weeks, but my mom was there. One of my daughters was just had an attitude problem, and so that was hard to hear from my bed. She got a little at the lip with my mom. That was real difficult for me to stay in the bed and not like go out there and like, don't talk to my mom that way. I don't talk to my mom that way. Don't do that. So I did have a hard time. But even like once my mom was gone, once everyone realized, okay, she's not gonna bleed to death, she doesn't have a blood clot, we're good. I can just stop by sometimes and check on her. To see your sink sit full of dishes for 1 day, 2 days, and from your bed you're telling people, hey, wash the dishes. Okay, mom. Okay, babe. And then you finally take a little field trip to the living room, kitchen area. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. I was a shuffler. And you see that sink still full of the same dishes. It's really hard not to dig in and just go ahead and clean them up. But it's not best for your health. Which is why I kind of said in the other video, like, husbands, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal to let her knock those dishes out, but it is a big deal. I would take what I called a field trip to the living room, sit there for a couple seconds and shuffle back to my room, and I would nap as though I had ran a marathon. It was crazy. But you will be more inclined to stay in your room in the lazy boy, or in the living room in the lazy boy if you have things to do. So what you want to do before your surgery is make a list of things you've been meaning to do that you haven't gotten to, that wouldn't hurt you to do while you're not at work. So, you know, in my case, my godmother taught me how to crochet when I was younger. And I had started getting pretty good, and then I stopped crocheting. So I had said I was going to buy a crochet kit. I didn't do it. Don't be like me. Crocheting, knitting, if there's some books you've been meaning to read, I did do that. I did read some books. I did had my Netflix queue full of stuff I wanted to watch. I watched some stuff on Hulu. I did a lot of the things that I didn't normally do because it made me feel like I was lazy. So like, when you ever sit down and binge on an entire season of something, like, do you have that little part of your brain that tells you you could have been doing something productive with your life? There's clothes that need to be washed. There's a child that needs some attention. There's a husband that needs some attention. Like, do you ever stop yourself from doing things you want to do because you just feel like you could be more productive doing something else that really does need to be done? Well, you won't have anything but opportunity when you're sitting on bed rest. So make a list of some things. Start journaling. Start a vlog. Contribute to this community of women who will go through this, have gone through this, are suffering and don't know if this might be the thing for them. Start doing some video logs. I find that I enjoy this more than journaling now. So start doing this. There's never going to be enough information for people who are trying to figure out whether or not they should have a hysterectomy. So, like, don't feel like your contribution won't be appreciated. It definitely will be. Let's see, what else? There's some people you've been meaning to call. You won't want to do this in the beginning, but once you're at 4, 5 to 6 weeks, you'll be feeling good enough to have a call. Do you have that third cousin you haven't spoken to that lives in California? Or, you know, that friend who's overseas that you don't get to talk to enough? Like, just write down a list of things that if you had nothing to do and you could be guilt-free about doing